listening to the Agent Survival Guide podcast, a podcast for today's insurance agents. Informing, educating, empowering, improving the way you do business in an industry that's anything but static.
In today's episode, it's the end of the year, so we've been putting out our top lists for a lot of things. It wouldn't be complete without a marketing podcast list. We wanted to find podcasts that give actionable marketing strategies, ones with tips you can implement into your day-to-day business and create successful campaigns for your business. You don't need a marketing degree or business degree to understand what these professionals have to say. Get real, down-to-earth information from experienced marketers. Here's our list of 5 marketing podcasts to follow. First, we have the Mindful Marketing Podcast with Andrea Jones, formerly the Savvy Social Podcast. This podcast breaks down marketing terms and concepts and makes them easier to understand. The host, Andrea, does a fantastic job of explaining how modern marketing works online and on social media. This podcast is great if you're new to marketing or tried listening to other podcasts but got overwhelmed with all the industry jargon. Andrea speaks to her listeners as if it was a conversation between friends, which makes for a casual, laid-back vibe, all while being highly insightful. Episodes range from 15 to 30 minutes, with interview episodes being closer to 60 minutes. You can listen to the Mindful Marketing Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Moving on to Do This, Not That with Jay Schwedelson from Guru Podcast Network, powered by Marigold. This podcast has easy-to-understand, simple tips to implement into marketing your business. Jay speaks on timely marketing trends and tips that are relevant to audiences. As a host, Jay is blunt with listeners about his opinions on marketing and sales, but not in a rude or condescending way. Episodes range from 10 to 15 minutes, focusing on one topic with digestible actions. It's not all about business. Jay also shares his take on pop culture trends, stories from his life, and more. You can listen to Do This, Not That on most podcast directories. Next on the list is the Influencer Podcast with Julie Solomon. When we hear the word influencer, we think of beauty gurus or style icons making a living by creating content and making brand deals. That wouldn't be an accurate description of the Influencer Podcast. In this podcast, Julie Solomon, a best-selling author and successful businesswoman, supplies listeners with high-level but easy-to-understand insights for making sales and boosting your business brand. This podcast focuses more on the sales side of marketing. You'll get expert advice on how to create a sales system, increase your sales, and more. The Influencer Podcast is available on all podcast directories. We'll have a link to Julie Solomon's website in the episode notes for you to check out. Next, we think you'll enjoy Online Marketing Made Easy with Amy Porterfield. This podcast has actionable step-by-step strategies to help you reach your business goals. Amy speaks to her audience with an honest, reassuring, and positive tone. She's not afraid to get into the emotions and mindset that come with running a business. Along with the importance of taking care of yourself in hustle culture, episodes range from 15 minutes to an hour. Amy speaks from her personal journey as an entrepreneur and businesswoman, and includes interviews from other experts. If you're looking for a marketing podcast that is upbeat, with a host that helps you find the positives when things don't go according to plan, you can listen to Online Marketing Made Easy wherever you get your podcasts. And last but not least, the Agent Survival Guide podcast with Sarah J. Ruppel and Tina Lamoureux from Ritter Insurance Marketing and Integrity Company. Shameless plug here, but if you discovered our podcast from this episode or another recent episode, you may not have hit the follow button yet. Here at the Agent Survival Guide podcast, ASG as we sometimes call it, We're dedicated to making your life as an insurance agent easier. We have a variety of episodes and topics, all with one thing in common: helping agents succeed in their business. We have a few different series here on the podcast. All the podcasts previously mentioned give great general tips for marketing your business. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is the only podcast that gives you industry-specific strategies to compliantly market your business selling Medicare, Affordable Care Act insurance, and more. We spend our time staying on top of CMS updates and industry trends to report to you, along with better business practices for client retention, social media and digital marketing tips, and tools and resources available to you. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is available to listen wherever you get your podcasts. Go and check out the podcasts we mentioned in this episode to expand your marketing knowledge. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next episode. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an Integrity company. This episode was written and produced by me, Tina Lamoureux. Script proofing by Sarah Rupal. Podcast design by Urban Rivera. Artwork by Vivian Zhao. Follow along with our show wherever you like to listen.